Here we are in Miss Halleck's kitchen again, and today we're going to do an experiment using food coloring, sugar, and a few different solvents. We're going to try to dissolve colored sugar in some different liquids and see which one works best. So you're going to need some food coloring. Blue, red, green all work well. Try not to use yellow because one of our liquids is going to be yellow, so then you wouldn't even see it. You're also going to need some isopropyl alcohol, or you can use denatured alcohol that you might have out in the garage or something. You're going to need some cooking oil. It could be vegetable oil, it could be olive oil, it could be canola oil. And you're going to need some water. You're going to need a cup to mix your sugar in, and you're going to need some sugar. You're going to need a tablespoon to measure that. You're also going to need a teaspoon to make some measurements. You're going to need some small little medicine cups. If you don't have medicine cups, you need 3 of them. If you don't have medicine cups, you could use like little cups like this. The smaller the better. You could use a glass from your kitchen as long as it's, small. Okay? All right, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is make your colored sugar. So you're going to take a tablespoon of sugar and you're going to put it into your cup. Place a drop of food coloring into the sugar and stir it up. You can either use a spoon, or if you have like a little wooden stick or a stirring rod, or like a coffee stirrer or something, and you're going to stir it up. I'm going to pause this. So you have to really stir like crazy, and pretty soon you're going to have colored sugar. If you want it to be darker, add another drop. So I added another drop to make mine super dark. And that's finished. The next step is going to be to put your liquids in the cups. You can label the cups. If you have disposable cups, you can write right on them with a permanent marker. Or you can put a piece of paper underneath and label that. If you're using, a glass from your house, you're not going to obviously write on that. So I labeled mine water, alcohol, and oil. Okay, and now I'm just going to add a tablespoon or a little more of the liquids. Now if you're using a medicine cup, you're just filling it up to the appropriate line. So I put a little more than a tablespoon of water in this. It's okay to use a little extra, just don't use less. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing for the alcohol and the oil. Here's my alcohol. I'm not using the measuring spoon because this cup has measurements on it. And here's my oil. The oil gets a little messy. When you're done with the oil, make sure you either throw it out if it's disposable or wash it with soap and water right away, because otherwise it gets all sticky. Okay, so that's the setup. Okay, now the next step is to add my sugar to each of these and stir them and see which dissolves best. Now, obviously, at this point, you need to stop and you need to make some observations, or not observations, but predictions, right? You're supposed to write a hypothesis in your experiment. So go ahead and fill that in. And what do you think is going to happen? How well do you think the sugar is going to dissolve and the food coloring in the water? Is it all going to dissolve? Is some of it going to dissolve? Is none of it going to dissolve? What about the alcohol? How well do you think it's going to dissolve there? Don't just say, it's all going to be the same, because would we really be doing this if it was all going to be the same? And same thing with the oil. Think about some of the things we've learned. Think back to the jelly bean experiment. We did some similar types of things, and we saw some differences that might apply here. None of these are acids or bases, okay? This is neutral, and this is neutral. Some of the differences might be polarity, okay? We know water's very polar, and we know oil is non-polar. I wonder what alcohol is. I'm not telling you right now, okay? But when you're ready, what you're going to do is you're going to take a teaspoon of colored sugar. You're going to place it into the water and stir it for 10 seconds. Then you're going to take a teaspoon of the sugar and place it in the alcohol and stir that for 10 seconds with a clean utensil. Don't use the same utensil unless you cleaned it. Then you're going to take a teaspoon of sugar, and you should almost use up all your sugar at that point, and put it in the oil and stir for 10 seconds. And then record your observations and see what happened. Then you can answer the questions. Okay? Tomorrow I'll put a video out that will show my experiment and how it goes. Have a good day, guys. I hope your experiment works. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have one of these liquids, just do the ones you have and then watch the video. At least try to do as much as you can. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.